much excitement did the organizations have about, adopt something like ParleyPro or new communication technologies? And if you had any challenges, what was your strategy to overcome those?
Start small, understand it well, get the stakeholders to buy in and roll it out slowly and organically. So, our organization's a bit unique in that we're sort of modular. We have tons of small teams that are matrixed and work together, and they're spread across regions or states or technology specialist areas. And so there's very few standardized workflows for my company. So it's really, when you want to roll out a new solution like Teams or ParleyPro, it's really important to sort of get all the department heads together and buying in and making sure they understand and feel comfortable with the solution. And then, spend some time on the back end thinking about possible errors or issues that could come up. Craft up an SOP, like a standard operating procedure, if you think it makes sense for the people that you're working with and the departments that will be reading it. And then, roll it out. Ideally, when I rolled out ParleyPro, I had a presentation for the entire company and then followed it up with an SOP.
But I think another really important aspect is to think about the people who are impacted within the workflow you're identifying or the processes, like who's going to be in there, and make sure that you get their involvement early and often so that the adoption of the change is a much stronger adoption at the end of the day. And so for us, when we were rolling out ParleyPro, we actually had several key users from like a representative of each of our different key user groups in on the final demos of our top 2 solutions that we were looking at so that they could see we're part of it before you even committed to a purchase. And then we had them involved in understanding the current state of the workflow, validating any future state proposed changes that we were looking for. And our rollout has been much more successful than I think it would have been otherwise, because we really focused on making sure that people saw themselves in the change and could see how they're part of that change. And it made it a much smoother rollout.
All relationships that are valuable, almost all assets that are valuable are pretty much contractual ones. So contracts are a big deal and they touch everyone in the organization. And we definitely find that those leaders who implement them, when they actually bring everybody throughout the organization to be part of this process, they take their opinion, they take their input, that process is so much smoother. But it does take time and it's not the most efficient process. Building consensus is not the most efficient process.